Hi guys, Peter Finch here and welcome down to Wentworth for a video I am massively excited about. Today I am getting fitted for irons and specifically the new PSI range which I hit out in Connecticut and I was very excited about. And I am joined today by Master of Clubs. Some say he was raised in a foundry. Mr. Luke Peter again. How are you doing, buddy? Okay.
Hi, Peter.
I was just thinking of some more things I could have introduced you as them, but yeah, it would have got a bit over the top. So basically today, Luke is going to fit me for irons. Now, I've fitted myself for irons before, but I am by no means a club fitting expert. So I'm very excited to see what Luke actually comes up with today and to see actually what spec that I'm in. What we're going to do is just going to go through the whole fitting process. Might not film it all, might just cut it a little bit, but just to give you an insight into what they do down here at Wentworth in this amazing studio, and also an insight into what I should be getting and what you should be looking out for if you get fit as well. So, where do we begin? Where do we start?
So we'll start by hitting a few with yours first,
okay,
with your irons. We'll get some feedback with that,
okay,
see how that's performing, and then we'll do some analysis on the flights that we're looking at.
Fantastic.
And then we'll take it from there.
Cool. So we're using TrackMan for the ball data.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, at the moment, I'm sure you've seen the what's in the bags, but it's an S56 ping at the moment in X stiff, mid-size grip, but standard loft and lie on these four pings. So I kind of know how these should be performing.
Okay.
I hope so. But we'll go from there. And what balls are we using here? What have we got here?
These are TaylorMade range balls. They're good quality. So
awesome.
They give us representative ball flights really for what you pretty much expect to see on the golf course.
Oh, that's a nice stinny one.
A nice handful.
I'm not sure you're going to get too much good data from that one.
We can stretch to 5.
Well, these are a couple of real looseness. There, a little bit more. Yeah, I think we can discount the first two.
Yep.
Honestly, the last two, yes. The first two were, I'm not going to lie, guys, horrific. Thankfully, when I throw the TrackMan data up, those would have disappeared magically into the ether. Never to be seen again. Wait. That's a little bit of an awkward. Yeah, a bit of a problem shot at the moment, that pulley one, to be fair.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, the changes within the swing, I'm just trying to get the club face a little bit more neutral. It used to be quite open, and then coming through, it was a real kind of flick to get it closed. So I'm just trying to get it a little bit more neutral now. But as it comes through, I still have a tendency to give it one of those and shut the club face down a little bit. Okay. But it's getting less and less, thankfully. That's better.
So you're quite happy with the ball flights that you're seeing on your good shots?
Yes, yeah, I am, to be honest. I think it's not too bad. This year I've certainly got a lot more, apart from the odd kind of left one, I've got a lot more control over the ball now. Now I've started to actually practice and play a little bit more. Yeah. So ball flight I'm pretty happy with. I don't hit it massively high, but as we're doing kind of the Quest for the Open video and a lot of the courses that we're playing are effectively links type, hitting a massively high ball flight isn't top of my priority. I'd rather have control rather than that big high kind of ball flight. But
if we keep these trajectories that we're seeing,
yeah,
here.
quite piercing.
Okay.
I do prefer it kind of that way. How many shots would you like me to clip by?
One more there, actually.
Just one more.
We've got 3 perfect ones there.
Oh, I like it. Perfect, he said. Perfect. Take that one to the bank. Yeah, so I've had these irons for 4 years now. Probably the best way of describing it is I like them. I don't love them. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So I got these irons effectively because I hit them a couple of times. I like the feel of them. More than happy with the feel of them. And I've used them. They're reliable. They're solid. But I never get them out of the bag. And I never think, oh, you know what, I can't wait to hit it. They don't excite me.
Can you put your finger on why that is?
I'm not sure. Possibly the feel, because it's not a forged iron. don't have any real kind of forged components. So it's not a super soft feel. They don't go massively far, but they're quite consistent. And the way that they look, I mean, they look okay, but they're not. You know, you guys know what I mean. It's just not. You want clubs to excite you. You do want clubs to excite you.
Okay. So let's have a little look at some of this information.
Okay, so we'll pull this kind of ball flight data up on screen for you guys as well. So average carry about 160. I'd say when I'm swinging nice and smooth, that would be about right. But it's one thing I've always noticed with my irons, that my carry distance with my irons in comparison with the distance I get with my woods, there's actually quite a big gap.
Yeah.
So for my swing speed, I honestly would think I should hit it further than what I do. To be honest, with my irons, it's not bad because I know my distances. Okay. But to be honest, I think I should get more distance out of the clubs than I do at the moment, if I'm honest with you. I mean, what do you think by those initial kind of figures?
Yeah, I'd agree, definitely. I think the one thing that stands out here would be your spin rate. It's very consistent, which is great, but it's just a little bit high.
Spinny,
Yeah, so especially where you're saying there for the links courses that you'd be playing, if you get that shot that starts to balloon a bit too much, it could be tricky into wind. It means that you will get the land, or it will stop nice and quickly when it does land. But I think definitely if we could take that spin rate down quite a bit there, you'll have that bit more penetrative flight, and it will give you more yardage as well. You're exactly right, with the swing speed that you're putting into it, you should be heading it a little bit further.
So I normally get around the 90 mile an hour mark with the swing speed. What was it actually like there, the swing speed?
On average there we are, 90.6 on average right now.
So 90 miles an hour of club speed, which happy with. I have control over that kind of swing speed, so I don't need to really effectively hit it any harder. But yeah, I certainly think I should get a little bit more out of that. Obviously, the one that's gone that bigger distance, I was a bit pulley anyway, so club face is going to be a bit more shut down anyway.
I mean, all in all there, your dispersion is very tight, which is great. So you are very accurate with your irons, which is super. But yeah, it's just a little bit high. So this optimizer chart on TrackMan here is a really good way to highlight how far away you are from your optimal ball flight, let's say, based on the speed and your technique right now. And again, what we're seeing here, that's your optimum area here for spin rate, and it's just that little bit higher.
Might get me camera on here as well, a bit of interactive stuff. So guys, if you've not seen optimizers before, effectively you can take your swing numbers and kind of twiddle, is that the right word? Twiddle them around so you can see exactly where you can eke out more distance, more consistency, move these bars up and down. There's something similar that you use on the flight scope, but TrackMan has it as well. It's fantastically useful for really identifying the points that need to be kind of improved upon. So fantastic. So you've identified spin rates there?
Yeah, and I think, if we just bring that down a little bit, we'll be looking good, because your optimal carry distance there, according to TrackMan, is 179.
179 with a 7.9, which I'd be happy with. I'd be happy with,
We're averaging 164, so there's a big difference there. If we can keep your accuracy, but just get that a little bit more of a penetrative flight, we'll be looking good.
Luke can make a friend for life if he can get me to 179, normal carry with a 7.9. I'll certainly take that. So what we're going to go for?
So I'm going to build a club that's spec-wise fairly similar to yours. We'll pop the same shaft in at the same length. I'll just take a few measurements of that in the workshop next door.
Okay.
Now, just
fantastic.
to make sure we know what we're looking at.
So guys, join us back in a few minutes and we will have the new club ready. Fit the PSI?
PSI we'll start off with, definitely. Okay,
so Luke has worked his magic in the workshop, the magic workshop, if I put two and two together, and he's come forward with this. So the new PSI iron. So we've got it at standard, effectively lie.
Standard lie.
For the kind of TaylorMade. Got the same shaft, got the X100 in there as well. So this effectively is, with this setup, it's a club head to head really, isn't it? Because the setup's pretty much the same. So this is just really going to be the difference within the technology. So this obviously has a lot more tech in it. It's got the face slots. It's got a little bit more on the bottom as well. It should be potentially more powerful.
Yeah.
It's certainly what I saw in the States, so it'd be interesting to see exactly where it's at. And I'm excited. Because I've not hit any since the States either. And I thought they were really, really good. It's interesting to see what's the difference. Well, because obviously visually these are a little bit bigger. a little bit bigger. They certainly look similar from the top, but they're certainly a little bit thicker on the bottom. So I'm not sure either this or the Tour version of the PSI, which one visually looks better. Very similar technology in there, isn't there? So.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit heavier than yours, so
yes.
the swing weight on yours is quite light compared to this, so it might just take a couple of swings to feel a little bit different.
That's very kind of you. Yeah, okay. That was kind of how I remember. So yeah, that was a lot better strike. I'm not gonna look yet.
You'll want to.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. I know it felt amazing, so I'm not gonna look yet. That one did not. See, now I knew I was getting too bloody excited then. I was getting too excited.
Straight at least.
I'll tell you what, I hit that so bad. I hit that about there and it still actually got up there. That's what the face slots are for, I suppose. What's the saying, miss hits happen?
Yeah.
More often than not, unfortunately. Decent strike. Slightly left, but okay.
Alright, let's go one more.
One more. Yeah, slightly left again.
Does it feel heavier?
It does feel different, yeah. It does certainly feel different. I can feel it a little bit more within my hands.
Okay. Let's have a little look. I mean, that's a good starting point, definitely. And I'm going to keep that one that didn't feel good in there, just to show you
the actual differences there, yeah.
So your ball speed on average there is 3 miles an hour faster. That is with the miss hit in there. If we take that out, which we'll do in a second, it'll be interesting to see how big the difference in ball speed is. But yeah, already an increase in ball speed. Like you said, that's going to be partly down to the technology differences between the two club heads, which is great. Flight-wise, we said earlier that we needed to keep that spin down.
Yes.
Again, let's just take that out now for now. So your average spin rate there, 6,700, compared to just under 8,000 with your pings. So big difference in spin rate there. 168 carry compared to 160 on average with yours. So already we're 8 yards longer from club to club. The miss hit still carried 158.
Right, so in comparison to the other ones,
it's actually the same carry distance.
That strike was awful as well. Like it was really, really bad. And he still managed to get up there.
A really good strike with your pings. Again, that's where the technology there will really help defend against those shots there.
That's fantastic.
So a good starting point.
Yeah, very, very good. So I did have a couple kind of get a little bit left on me.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm gonna put that down to the weight, the difference in weight.
On the way side.
If it is a little bit heavier, it might feel like it's a bit of a lump on the end of the shaft, and then it might encourage you to be a bit flicky, which you're trying to get away from. So definitely making that a little bit lighter would be a good way to counter that.
Got a feeling.
So I do think that would be down to that. We'll try a different shaft in a second.
Okay. What would you like me to do?
Let's pop into. I wouldn't say we'd need to reinvent the wheel here, looking at dispersion with yours. And I mean, you said that they don't really excite you when you pull them out the bag.
No.
But that would be potentially, again, partly down to the feel of the club head itself rather than the shaft.
Possibly, yeah.
So if we had the PSI Tours, it'd be interesting to see how they would feel compared to yours.
Because the PSI Tours, they're December, aren't they? They're being launched.
Yeah.
PSI is, well, effectively this week, depending on when you're watching this video, start in November.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a good start. I mean, the difference there straight away on the good, I mean, the good shot is so much better. A couple went left in there, quite a similar distance actually, so that will probably be, it's going to be interesting. So what have we switched around here?
So, same club head, same lie angle, just a slightly different shaft here. KBS Tour
into the KBS
rather than the dynamic gold in the ends.
Okay, so onto the KBS.
Have you hit this shaft before?
Probably, yeah, on other people's, but never kind of with a consistent kind of basis.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it's just, you can feel the difference here. So is this standard settings as well?
Yeah, standard length, standard long.
Okay. That was another baddie. I'm interested to see that one because that was very much an open, me trying to hold the club face open quite drastically then.
Okay. So again, I mean, that's 159 carry there, which we average
really?
60 with yours. Goodness.
Yeah, I mean that's the most surprising thing because that again was a bad strike. That's a nice one. Again, that's a bad strike.
So you feel, is this feeling a little bit harder work compared to the previous set?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit more kind of weighty, so to speak.
Okay.
But that's really good.
Again, not bad results.
No, not at all. The dispersion feels a little bit more like that. Obviously, the different kind of feelings in the club are kind of partly to that. The strikes feel very strong though. Yeah. When I catch it well, very, very powerful. I'm actually very surprised how well it's going off the bad hits. Yeah. I know it's obviously built with miss hits in mind, with the face lots and everything else, but I'm surprised at how well it's performing in comparison, really. That's a big surprise to me. That.
So if there's one area we could improve, the feel still?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit loose almost is probably the best way of describing it. It's often hard to explain feelings, isn't it? But yeah. Basically, I'm just trying to tell you my feelings, Luke, and I kind of want you to respond. That's all.
Do you want my shoulder to?
When you put yourself out there, guys, you just want someone to just wrap you up in cotton wool and say well done, and yeah, it'll get better. Right. So what?
Okay. So we'll go back to the dynamic gold shaft that you're used to. This is the RSI TP club end.
Okay.
This will be quite a nice preview of almost what the PSI Tour
will feel like. Okay. That looks a little bit better to my eye.
Yeah.
A little bit more compact, not as much offset on there as well, and it just sits a little bit better. I kind of feel I might be able to kind of swing this, not exactly a little bit harder, but a little bit more purposefully through the ball. Not bad, slightly on the heavy side. That's better. That was a nice one as well.
So the dispersion is coming back, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's much straighter.
Distance-wise there has actually dipped again, so the spin rates there have increased.
Spin rates climbing again. Ball speed's dropping.
So that was a rubbishy one. Those second two were pretty good strikes, really. Felt very consistent anyway. Yeah. Second two. It's very interesting. But this, guys, if you do kind of get yourself fitted, this is the process you need to be looking at. You need to be testing this many clubs. Don't need to just be hitting one after another, after another, after another. Test this many. So what are the differences you see there? Because I certainly prefer the look of that, but performance-wise isn't as hot as the PSI.
It's not far off. I mean, I would say that this RSI TP is actually more comparable to your pings, rather than the PSI is. The loft is pretty similar, so the loft on your ping was just over 35 degrees, which is closer to what the RSI TP is. So the fact that the flights are pretty similar, that's not really a surprise to me, but we are seeing that increase in ball speed. So again, at least there is that technology difference you're gaining from. I do think now that we're looking at this compared to PSI, we could afford to take your loft down just a little bit. With your speeds, we need to keep a little bit of spin on there because we don't want to, like we said, we want to keep this accuracy. So if we drop that spin rate too much, that could open up that dispersion a little bit too much. But I think in terms of making it optimal, new technology, so PSI Tour with a little bit of a lower loft,
Okay.
will help increase that ball speed a little bit, but also decrease that spin. So it'll be a really good combination for you.
Okay. So standard 7 iron in PSI with a little bit less loft. What would be PSI Tour with a little bit less loft?
I think that's going to be a good combination for you.
Okay, fantastic. Shaft wise, I do prefer. I think I do prefer the feeling of the X100.
Yeah.
That KBS one felt a bit unwieldy.
Okay.
Really, is probably the best way of describing it. But again, because I'm used to the X100 now.
But it's got the stiffness there.
Yeah.
And if anything, it does complement your delivery as well. So where we saw earlier from the mat part of the session, your attack angle into the ball, a dynamic gold shaft complements that delivery nicely. And that's supported by your dispersions, your smash factors, all pretty good as well. So that's, again, showing that shaft is at least helping that energy transfer from the speed that you're putting into the shaft, transferring nicely into the golf ball. So again, yeah, I'd be happy with that shaft. I think, yeah, the change in technology is a nice improvement that we're seeing,
awesome.
club head wise, and then just a tiny bit lower loft will be a perfect combination.
Fantastic. How much lower do you think I should go? Because what are the PSI normals at?
The PSI normals are 33 degrees, if memory serves.
33.
I would go 34, which the PSI Tours I think will be 35. So 1 degree less loft should take a couple of hundred RPMs off that spin rate. I would put that in the bag, see how your trajectories are, judge it from there. You could even go a tiny bit more if needed.
Okay.
But I would judge it from there.
Fantastic.
So 1 degree off, and then see how you go.
Awesome. So, after that, effectively, what we've come out at is this club, just a tour version, which is effectively the same technology, just a little bit slimmer, with a little bit less offset. It's more of a better players looking club, but with all this technology still wrapped in. Bit of a whack. So guys, a bit of a bonus hit at the end here. We're just discussing clubs and club gapping. And I've had a little bit of an issue with the top end of my bag as far as what to fit in, so I'm having a...
Yeah, you don't want to look at that.
I'm having a whack with the 3 iron here, in the standard PSI, so not the Tour, and carry 225, total distance 240. Again, not perfect strike.
That's a good, for a long iron though, that's a good result for not perfect strike. Ball speed still up there, like good shot there.
Still almost 214 carry, 227 total. Right guys, so that's the fitting. So we've come out with pretty much standard lie for the new irons. Pretty much a standard lie. X100 shaft, which I am comfortable with, and it certainly gave a little bit more consistency as far as the flight was concerned there. PSI Tour irons from wedge to 4, with 1 degree stronger loft, and then a normal PSI 3 iron, which is going to be a little bit stronger in loft anyway.
We'll keep that standard loft.
Which is going to be standard loft. So that is effectively my new set of irons. The PSI Tours aren't out for effectively another month anyway, so I'll have to wait a little bit of time to actually get my hands on them, but that's been absolutely fantastic. An absolute pleasure. Luke, thank you so much today. You've been a really good sport today. You've really been really good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it gives you a little bit of an insight into a fitting process. Obviously, there's stuff kind of off camera there that you didn't see about kind of Luke going in and getting all the fitting and everything like that. So if you do get fitted, if you are in the area, obviously this is a fantastic facility to come down and get fitted at, but make sure your fitter is going through a similar process that Luke has just gone through there. And you're going to find out you're going to have a good set of irons. So guys, thanks for watching so much. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well, and follow Luke on Twitter as well. Handle
LPeterken.
@LPeterken. Guys, thank you so much. And I'm going to go hit some more clubs.